Hiya! My name is Oshun Amare. On this channel, we uncover the creepiest, most unusual haunted TikToks the internet has to offer for entertainment purposes. Please do me a favor and like, comment, and subscribe to the Soul Tribe for your weekly dose of supernatural coming to you every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Y'all are my Soul Tribe. Tribe is with a Y because the Y is for you. And that's because I love you so freaking much. Yes, I do. And with that being said, honey, today's shout out goes to Miss Essence Northern 3815. Thank you, baby. She said, Happy New Year, baby. I love you. Oh, no, she didn't. Rewind. She said, Happy New Year's, baby. I hope you and everyone here receive nothing but positivity, good vibes, good health this year, even though it's a shoddy start and sure has been. Sending X and O's from New York City. First of all, love your name. If you didn't know, Essence is my birth name. Amare is my middle name, period. But yes, and I'm sure you're beautiful because all essences across the world are gorgeous. I mean, I must say that. And you're at NYC. Prayers sent to you and your family. I know something crazy happened out there as well as in New Orleans and as well as in front of the Trump Tower. So this year has been starting off crazy, but sending good vibes, good positivity to everyone around the world. And yeah, with that being said, we got some Asian content, creepy content that we are about to watch and give our opinions on. So let's get started. Let's get to this video.
Creepy Encounters from Around the World, Part 7. A jiangshi, also known as a Chinese hopping vampire, is a type of reanimated corpse in Chinese legends and folklore. It is typically depicted as a stiff corpse dressed in Chinese shroud, which is sometimes mistaken as official garments from the Qing dynasty, and it moves around by hopping with its arms outstretched. It kills living creatures to absorb their qi or life force, usually at night, while during the day it rests in a coffin or hides in dark places such as caves. So if you meet one sleeping, you best be careful not to wake it up.
You best be careful not to wake it up. Okay? Ooh, child. Creepy.
This might be the scariest Asian story I heard. So, this man, he has a new family and he needed to get a new house. Okay. Right? So, he asked his father and he said, yes, there's an ancestral house that we used to own. It belonged to my mother. You can go there and take the materials from the house and bring it over to your land. But he said one thing, just promise me you leave something of the house. Now, this is where it gets crazy. So, he builds up the house and he's living there with his family, his wife and kid. So one night they're all asleep and the mother wakes up. The baby's crying. So she goes to the father and like taps him on the shoulder. She said, this is in her own words. Okay. When he looked at me, he looked like a different man. So she was trying to wake him up and he looked at her and didn't say a word. So she got so scared. She went to his father and asked him like, what do we do? Cause he's like stuck like this, right? So the father, he took some pepper and then like sprinkled it around the house. Now listen. Okay. This is where it gets fucked. Okay. Yo, so another day passes, right? Yeah. And they have like this chair in the house. His sister comes to visit. She says, hi, how's it going? And she sees somebody sitting in the chair. It's like, and she asked them like, oh, who's this? I haven't met her yet. Yeah. They look at her crazy like, what are you talking about? Damn, she saw a woman that wasn't there in the chair. She took a picture. That's the chair. And you can see the woman holding her hair.
I hate when they don't show us the receipts. But I love them, guys. They got great content. Go follow them. But baby, turn the phone to the camera so we can see the receipt or split screen song, like sheesh.
This is part 2 of the mysterious paranormal incidents that occur on the Karak Highway, otherwise known as the most haunted highway in the world. At night while driving on this highway, you may find yourself stuck behind a yellow Volkswagen Beetle driving painfully slow. And when you try to pass it, somehow you realize the car is in front of you again, driving just as slow as before. Fed up, you drive right next to the car to see who might be inside until you realize there's no one there. Some people, after passing the car, have witnessed it speed up to overtake them only to slam on its brakes again when it does. Since the 1950s, this yellow Volkswagen Beetle has stalked the drivers of the Karak Highway, trying to trap them into having an accident, which is unfortunately not uncommon. Do you have an experience with the yellow Volkswagen? Let me know in the comments and like for more content about Asian urban legends. I'll see you next time. Bye!
She's cute. Have y'all ever, anyone in Malaysia or visited Malaysia, have you been on that road and have you encountered the yellow Volkswagen? Punch buggy, no punch back.
I am the reason why you should never drive the highway called Jayuro in North Korea. Hello, I am the hollow-eyed woman. Based in the north of Seoul, this story is about a highway called Jayuro, infamous for fatal accidents. People claim to have seen me standing by the side of the road, my eyes gouged out, and black ink-like substance dripping from them. I was once a hitchhiker seeking a ride on a full moon night. But to my misfortune, the driver who picked me up took me to the woods and cruelly ended my life, gouging my eyes out in a fit of madness. Now, I haunt these desolate roads. When drivers approach, they see me standing by the side of the highway, wearing sunglasses. As they draw closer, I reveal my true form. My eyes are gouged out with black ink-like substance dripping from them, and leap in front of their cars, causing accidents. If you encounter me on Jayuro, know that I take the dead bodies away, and no one knows what happens next. Cross me, and you may become my next victim, forever lost in the darkness I inhabit.
Well, damn, girl. Hell no, we not coming to see you on Jiggle Road, okay? Stay away. That was crazy.
Guys, have you heard the story of the ghost of White Snake? It's a very sad story. So the story goes that long ago, in ancient China, beside the peaceful waters of the West Lake, in Hangzhou, lived a beautiful woman named Bai Sujin. But Bai Sujin was no ordinary woman. She was a powerful spirit, a white snake, who had transformed herself into a human after years of meditation and magic. One stormy day, Bai Sujin met a kind and handsome man named Xu Xian. He saved her from the rain by lending her his umbrella, and from that moment, they fell deeply in love. But a Buddhist monk named Fa Hai, who knew the truth about Bai Sujin, warned Xu Xian that his wife was not human, but a spirit in disguise. Driven by fear and confusion, Xu Xian confronted Bai Sujin, who tearfully revealed her true identity. To prove her love, she even showed him her snake form, an enormous, glowing white serpent, with eyes as cold as the moon. Terrified and heartbroken, Xu Xian fell unconscious and died from the shock. Desperate to save him, Bai Sujin traveled to the underworld. She stole a magical herb to bring her husband back to life. When Xu Xian woke up, he was grateful, but still afraid of Bai Sujin's true form. Fa Hai saw this as his chance. He trapped Bai Sujin in a golden bowl and buried her beneath the Leifeng Pagoda, where she could never escape. Now, on misty nights when the wind howls, some claim to see a woman in white drifting by the water's edge. How would you rate this story? Share your rating in comments.
Okay, I give it a 8.5. Hey y'all, it's me, the Money Professor, and everybody wants to know, what's an IUL? And I'm going to tell you. So this is you, this is your money. And on average, you take your money and you put it in the bank. And when you put your money in the bank, it's only going to grow at a whopping 0.01%, maybe a 0.001%. And while it's in the bank is loaning out your money, compounding your money, and making and keeping all of the money. And what you should do is take that money and put it into an IUL. And what's an IUL? It's an Index Universal Life Insurance Policy. So when your money's inside an IUL, it is protected and it's guaranteed to grow on an average of 8 to 10%. All right. And so when it's in those accounts, the account grows because it is growing on a compound or uninterrupted compound interest. And when it's protected because it has a 0% floor, guaranteed no losses. Okay, so when the money is in that account, at the same time, it's growing cash value. And when you have that cash value, you're able to spend that money tax-free. You can use that money for leverage, such as, college funding, investing in property, or just other cash building assets. You can use that money as income replacement for retirement funding, or even build your own private bank, becoming your own family bank. And at the same time, it's a death benefit. It's a life insurance policy. So this death benefit, you are able to leave a legacy. It comes with living benefits for chronically ill or, critical illnesses. And also it's collateral. You are using this money to pay back this money when you are taking it while you're still alive. DM me more or hit the link in my bio if you are interested in creating your own IUL. Oh, hey y'all, it's me, the Money Professor. How are you? Well, I'm just, helping a client with some mortgage protection. What's mortgage protection? It's a life insurance policy that protects your family and your family's home in the event that you get sick, in a bad car accident, or just pass away before your mortgage is able to be paid off. This is the best way to keep your family and your home safe in the event that, like I said, you pass away. Mortgage protection policies are primarily term policies, and they last, 10 to 30 years, depending on your length of your mortgage payments. It also has the cheapest premiums, so it is extremely affordable for all homeowners, really. I personally believe everyone should know the power and benefits of having mortgage protection, as well as life insurance in general. The different kinds of life insurances that are offered and how important it is to have for you and your family. Feel free to send me a DM to learn about more opportunities and what's available for you and your family's protection. You can hit the link in the bio, complete the application, and I'll be in touch as soon as possible. Talk to you soon.
Creepy story that happened to me in Thailand. It was Saturday evening, already dark outside, 8 or 9 p.m. My partner went out to see his friends, so I'm alone in the house, minding my own business, washing dishes in the kitchen. Suddenly, I have this feeling like someone is watching me. I'm turning my head, and I see a man's figure outside of the open kitchen window. I froze. I know this man. He's the maintenance guy, old, tidied, probably my grandpa's age. He comes to our house to fix things sometimes. He's standing there in the dark, smiling at me and says, "Hello, how are you? Where is Nick?" So he came to our garden at night, walked around the house, saw me in a window and decided to stand there and watch me, and then ask if I'm alone in the house. I'm sure he didn't even realize how creepy it is, especially from a woman's perspective. What do you think?
And then what? He just left? What happened? That is weird.
I'm doing this series about terrifying Asian found footage movies, and the first movie that I posted a video for, I found out was based on a true story that happened in my hometown, Kaohsiung, Taiwan. And today, after posting the video, I went and looked up the true story that it was based on, and I'm just going to recount it now so that I can scrub it from my brain forever and never have to think about it again, because it is horrifying. So here we go. The movie that I was talking about earlier is Incantation, and you can watch it on Netflix, and it's about possessions, which Taiwanese people believe in when you encounter an evil spirit or something some sort of demonic entity that is pretending to be a god. Changing out the background because it was too creepy for me to stare at her face. Here is the true story that this movie is supposedly based on. So in 2005, the Wu family, there are the parents and then 4 kids. They went to visit this neighborhood shrine, and when they returned, one of the kids, so there's 3 girls and 1 boy, one of the kids said that they've been possessed by a god. So they believe that their older sister, who is away in Taipei working, and that she's in danger and she has to come home right away. In Taiwan, one of the folk beliefs is that you can become possessed by a god and act as a vessel for them to speak through you. So this is not necessarily a bad thing. It can be a sign of divine intervention. So when this woman comes back home, she receives a strange phone call and suddenly starts behaving erratically and gets some really strange dreams. And she complains about these dreams. Then her behavior starts getting worse and worse, and she claims that she was being possessed by another divine goddess, the goddess of mercy, and she keeps hurting herself daily. The family witnessing this is like, oh shit, what's going on? So they go and visit this neighborhood shrine again, and they're informed by the temple that one of the gods they are worshiping in the altar in their house is an evil spirit. So they have to go and burn this altar. And as they follow the directions from this neighborhood temple, they, one by one, the members of the family start to become possessed by other spirits. So they are all accusing one another of being false gods. And then they're now behaving even more erratically, every single one of them. So they are cutting and whipping themselves and not sleeping and not eating. And they might hurt themselves and each other and feed each other bodily fluids. And in the end, they decide that the main culprit is this, the eldest daughter, who was the one they had brought home. And they all decide, since she is the source of all the evil that has been brought on their family, they start beating her every day, and they lock her in her room, and they don't let her out. And in the end, she dies from this mistreatment. And the neighbors start to notice that the bizarre behavior of this family, and finally call the police. And they discover that this poor woman is already dead. So when the police take them away to jail, it was found that this family had experienced a version of mass hysteria. And that is the story of possession that this movie is based on. So, of course, being Taiwanese, these stories are absolutely terrifying to me, and I probably won't be sleeping tonight either. So, what about you? Do you have any stories like these from your culture or your country?
Great story. Thank you for sharing that with us. Have y'all seen that Netflix movie, honey? I have not, but I will partake. I'm just going to say that because I like being scared.
Wait, I just be making sure I get stories for y'all. I know how I recently found a new wig store called Brooklyn Hair in Irvington, right? Because that's where my mom lives. That's what I got from there was like really good. That's the one that y'all told me to do the Blanca Bob. So I came back to get a new wig or whatever, and I met the owner. Long story short, he found that I was an influencer and that I tell you guys stories. And he said, girl, boy, do I have stories for you.
Yeah, so I'm an influencer and I tell like spooky and scary stories as like my content. Love that.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you one story, like 20 years ago. This is a real story.
Oh wow, I love real stories. They love it.
A boy, like 9 years old boy, was missing.
Oh.
And I gotta tell you the true story later.
Yeah.
Monday,
Okay, so when I come back Monday, you make sure you tell me the story and I'm gonna make sure to tell them.
Sounds good.
He was in a hurry, so I caught him on his way out. When I went to the store, come to find out, they're having like a buy one, get one free wig sale starting Monday. And so he was like, come back Monday and I have some stories for your followers. And he's Korean too. And I haven't heard anything as far as like Korean culture, like scary story wise, but I can't wait to find out and tell y'all. Because I don't know if y'all noticed, but all of these things from different cultures somehow always correlate. It's basically the same things, just different fonts. I can't say I don't be getting y'all stories. Also, there's a girl in there that's from Ghana. She also told me she got some stories for me to tell y'all.
So on Monday, get ready for me to be posting some Korean scary story times.
Have you ever heard of the Korean urban legend of the red-cloaked woman? The legend tells the story of a mysterious woman who appears on rainy nights, wearing a red cloak that conceals most of her face and body. According to the legend, encountering the red-cloaked woman can lead to unfortunate or even tragic events. Some versions of the legend suggest that she may be a vengeful spirit seeking justice or revenge for a past wrongdoing. Others believe she could be a harbinger of misfortune or an omen of impending doom. The red-cloaked woman is often described as having an eerie presence, with her face partially hidden or obscured by her cloak. Her unsettling appearance, combined with her appearance during rainy nights, contributes to the eerie nature of the legend. Encounters with the red-cloaked woman are said to leave individuals feeling uneasy and unsettled. It is believed that encountering her may bring about a series of unfortunate incidents or even lead to accidents or untimely deaths. The legend serves as a cautionary tale, warning against venturing out alone on rainy nights and encouraging people to be cautious and aware of their surroundings.
In Japan, there's a terrifying story about creature named rokurokubi. During the day, she looks like a normal woman, living among people without anyone knowing her secret. But at night, her head stretches on a long neck, sometimes many feet long, and it moves around, while her body stays still, asleep. The rokurokubi is said to use this power to spy on people, scare them, or even harm them. One story tells of a man who stayed at an inn in a quiet village. He noticed something odd about one of the women who worked there, but he couldn't figure out why. One night, while everyone was sleeping, the man woke up to strange noises. He looked out of his room and saw the woman's head floating in the air, her neck stretching unnaturally long. She was watching him, her eyes glowing in the dark, and her mouth twisted into a creepy smile. Frozen with fear, he tried to stay quiet, but the head slowly moved closer. He knew she was no ordinary woman. Somehow, he managed to survive the night without being caught. The next morning, when the sun came up, the woman looked normal again, as if nothing had happened. The man quickly left the village, terrified. The rokurokubi, with her ability to blend in during the day and haunt people at night. Comment your country and I will make a scary story from your country.
Okay. Nope.
Okay, so sorry. So I just saw this girl's TikTok of Hyesung touching her braid. She's like, what's the reason? The way the flashbacks just started coming back to me, because going to Korea with braids, I'm sorry, it's in there. It's in there. One story I'll never forget though, and it really shows you who your true friends are. So I'm sitting on the train on the chiachol, as they say. I'm minding my business, I'm looking at my reflection in the tube, I'm hearing you know. Now at this point in the trip, we're like 3 weeks in. Yeah, we went for a while. So I'm standing on the tube, one of my friends is very close to me, my other friend is sat down. I see this old man get on the tube. But as a Londoner, we just don't lock eyes with people for no reason. But for some reason, I just locked eyes with this man. I'm like, oh, whatever. But by then it's too late. He comes on. He looks hella excited. I'm thinking, oh, no. Yeah, that was a mistake. This is why you have to trust your instincts as well. Old Ajushi type. I'm talking haraboji type old man come and stood behind me the entire time. And me being me, I don't trust nobody from nowhere. Do you know how when the doors are closed, you can low-key look through the windows to see the reflection, right? And I'm like, let me just keep staring just in case. These times I had like electric blue braids. And I'm like, if he moves one of my braids, I'm gonna, it was mixed with black as well, but I'm like, I'm gonna see it. But I'm staring intently, like nothing happens. I'm thinking, I was bugging. I'm just bugging. Bear in mind, when he had come onto the tube the first time and he stood on and he was like all smiley and that, I may have forgotten to mention the fact that he wasn't actually looking at my eyes. He was looking. And in my brain, I was just gaslighting myself. I was like, no, surely not. Because, you know, harabojis are cute. Harabojis are nice. Korea's conservative. The men here aren't trash. Which is universal vibes. I don't know who told me. So he gets off. But he did one thing that literally put like a chill down my spine. He turns round and looks at me in a way that is like, almost like he's just shy of doing a wink. It's like, how do you mentally give someone a wink? That's the kind of, I think I'm exaggerating. I'm telling you, that's the feeling I got. It wasn't until he was like, the doors were fully closed that my friend comes, maybe I'm being a bit weird, but I just felt really uncomfortable. And she's like, yeah, he was like touching your braids and sniffing it and everything. That's my friend, why would you not tell me when it was happening? I just remember thinking, you waited till he got off? I could even grab. I remember coming back so heated. But it's so crazy because I remember feeling like so violated that day, even though nothing like serious happened. And I say this story stuck with me for so long that like I went back to Korea two years after that. Everywhere I looked, it was like I was trying to find that man. I was like, if I ever on site, I'm this serious. It's never too late for me to get my lip back. He should never cross my path. Never. Sorry, God. He should never cross my path.
Period. Because, baby, friend, you're fake. Because why is you letting somebody touch on me and sniff on me and you're just watching? You're weird. We're not friends no more because that's not cool. Like, you gonna wait till he get off to say something? I need my lick back. Like, that's crazy.
If you see her walking under the moonlight, don't let her see you. Just run. She is a rokurokubi. The story begins in a small village in South Korea. Among the villagers lived a woman named Minji. She was polite, kind, and lived alone in a small wooden house on the edge of the village. No one suspected her dark secret. But Minji was no ordinary woman. She was a rokurokubi, cursed to have her neck stretch impossibly long at night. Every night, while the village slept, her neck would grow, and her head would roam freely. She wandered through the dark streets, silently observing, searching. One night, a traveler named Jinwoo passed through the village and stayed in an inn near Minji's house. Jinwoo couldn't sleep and decided to take a walk under the moonlight. As he strolled through the quiet village, he saw her. Her head floated eerily in the air, her long, sinuous neck twisting and writhing like a serpent in the dark. Jinwoo froze in terror, but managed to keep silent. Instead of screaming, he turned and ran back to the inn, bolted the door, and huddled in a corner, trembling until dawn. The next morning, Jinwoo shared his chilling encounter with the villagers. Shocked and fearful, they confronted Minji, demanding the truth. She tried to deny it, but the look in their eyes told her they already knew. "Leave," one elder said firmly. "We won't harm you, but you cannot stay here." Minji packed her few belongings and left the village that very day, disappearing into the dense forest. This story is from South Korea. Comment your country, and I will create a scary story inspired by it.
Do you like that version better or the other version better? I think I like this one better.
One of Japan's most chilling urban legends is the tale of Kuchisake Onna, also known as the Slit-mouthed woman. This eerie legend has deep historical roots and has been passed down through generations, leaving an indelible mark on Japanese folklore. The story of Kuchisake Onna dates back to the Edo period, 17th to 19th centuries, a time when Japan was immersed in a tapestry of myths and ghost stories. According to the legend, Kuchisake Onna was once a beautiful woman with a jealous husband. Suspecting infidelity, he disfigured her face by slicing her mouth from ear to ear, creating a grotesque and permanent smile. The woman, unable to bear the humiliation, eventually succumbed to her injuries. In some versions of the legend, Kuchisake Onna is said to roam the streets wearing a surgical mask to conceal her mutilated mouth. She is often described as appearing as a normal, attractive woman, making her all the more deceptive. The sinister twist comes when she approaches unsuspecting individuals and asks a seemingly innocuous question: "Am I beautiful?" If the person responds with anything other than an enthusiastic affirmation, Kuchisake Onna reveals her gruesome, slit-mouthed visage, brandishing a sharp object, usually scissors or a knife. Her next move is to ask the terrified victim another question: "Am I beautiful now?" No matter the response, the encounter typically ends in a gruesome fate for the person, mirroring the tragic end that befell Kuchisake Onna herself. Over the years, reports of alleged encounters with Kuchisake Onna have surfaced, contributing to the legend's enduring impact. Tales of school children encountering her on their way home or pedestrians crossing paths with her on desolate streets have added a real-world, eerie dimension to the narrative. Though these accounts are likely products of imagination, the fear associated with the legend has persisted, seeping into popular culture and inspiring various adaptations in movies, books, and other forms of media. The urban legend of Kuchisake Onna taps into primal fears of disfigurement, deception, and the uncanny. The idea of a seemingly ordinary person harboring a horrifying secret, ready to unveil a nightmarish reality, strikes at the core of human anxiety. The legend's ability to adapt and evolve over time reflects its enduring resonance in Japanese culture, ensuring that the chilling tale of the slit-mouthed woman continues to send shivers down the spines of those who hear it.
Yeah, and does. Definitely heard this story before, and of course we all seen movies that imitate that figure, especially the movie Smile. Yeah.
Hey guys, get ready with me. Creepy coworker Storytime Edition. Now, this happens back in college when I end up landing a job as a cast member at Disneyland. So the thing about working at Disneyland is you meet so many damn people, because one night you're working your ride, one night you're working World of Color, one night you're working the fireworks. So there's this one guy, let's call this guy Mark, and I met Mark because he was also assigned at the same ride. Guys, when I tell you, like, Mark was so annoying, and literally this is the first thing that he says to me, guys. Like, he goes, "Hi, I'm Mark, and I just got out of a 5-year relationship. Welcome to DCA." What? Now, let's fast forward a few weeks, and this is the night where my shift is ending. Mark comes up to me and he asks me to hang out after our shift, and I politely say, "No thank you," right? But he goes, "Let me at least walk you to your car." And I'm like, "No." So he forcibly walks with me to my car, and he annoys the living crap out of me because the entire walk there, this is what he sounds like. "Are you sure you don't want to hang out? Do you want to get ice cream? Do you want to just go chill? Are you sure?" Like, no. So we finally make it to my car, and I'm like so fucking excited to say bye to Mark, right? Do you know what he does? He literally starts to beg me. And I'm not talking like light begging. This man had like no ego, no nothing. Begging me to hang out with him. So this is literally the conversation that we had. I'm going, "Bye, Mark." And when I say bye, he literally starts going like, "Oh my God, Jenny, please, come on. Can we just please hang out? Like, can we please, pretty please, like, can we please hang out?" And I'm like, "Bye, Mark." And Mark's like, "Jenny, please, come on, let's just hang out. Jenny, please. Bye, Mark." That was our conversation. And you know, I went home thinking like, finally, Mark got the hint. Like, I am not interested. No. But the thing is, he didn't get the hint. So the next day I see him, it continues. He's actually waiting for me. And he's like, "So do you want to hang out now?" No, bitch, I never want to hang out with you. Like, you know that annoying little buzzing fly that just buzzes around you and doesn't go away? That was him for me.
Oh, and last little tidbit, you remember that girl that he was like in a relationship with for 5 years? Well, they just got engaged. So there's that. Gotta love men, guys. You gotta love them. Okay, bye.
What the I wasn't expecting that. Gotta love men, guys. Gotta love them, okay? Wow. Wow. That just changed everything I was about to say about him. Like, bruh, you're wow. Negative. Anyway, her makeup, I was confused when it started off, but it ended beautifully. Let's go, baby. Beautiful. Love it. Next video.
Scary story from the year 1740, and it's known as one of the most famous scary stories in China. It begins with a man who met a beautiful woman claiming she fled her home but wouldn't give him any more details. So the man let this woman stay with him and his wife, but he was secretly having an affair with her. Then one morning when the man was at the marketplace, a priest came up to him and said he's been possessed by a demonic spirit. Thinking this must be a joke, he goes back home but finds all his doors were locked from the inside. So he decides to peek through the window, and that's when he saw something terrifying. The woman he's been having an affair with was actually a shape-shifting creature with sharp teeth and a grotesque face. But the worst part is her skin was spread out next to her. Every day she'd wear the skin and paint on her facial features to appear human. And this is where the story gets a little weird. Eventually this woman finds out the man knew her secret, so she rips his heart out. But that's not all, because his wife went back to the priest who told her how to revive her cheating husband. He told her to go to this man who everyone in town thought was a little crazy because he was always talking about demons. And this man coughed up some phlegm and made her eat it. But later at her husband's funeral, she started feeling sick. And when she threw it up, she saw that it was a human heart. So she placed it back into her husband's chest and his life was restored. Let me know if I should do more Asian urban legend stories, and follow for more.
That just fucked me up, baby. That was nasty. I hate spit. I hate vomit. I hate anything that comes out of the mouth or the nose. Disgusting. Anywhere else, I'm cool. I can deal with it, okay? Worked in plenty hospitals, nursing homes, private duty back in my day. But when it comes from up above the neck, I can't do it. No. Ugh.
Let's talk about the horrific case in which a woman was just terrifyingly set on FIRE. This was done by a 70s man who was S-talking her for a while. So, a woman was running a shop. However, at some point in time, a man in his 70s started to basically harass her. The woman reported this, and the man basically got a stay-away order from her, meaning he wasn't allowed to go near her. However, after the order was done, the man came by to see her again. It's stated by witnesses that he seemed like he was trying to drop off food, but it seemed like it was just an excuse for him to see her. Thus, she reported it again, and he had a court case coming up. Here you see the man coming again. Next thing you know, the woman was running out, in flames. Some neighbors who were nearby heard the ruckus and rushed out. Here you see some of her clothes that were inflamed. Here are some other items. I believe the news reported that the man also started to light himself on fire. Luckily, she's still alive and she was transported to emergency treatment. Just a note to be careful about who you run into. Unfortunately, it's not always easy to do that. Furthermore, it's shown that the legal process doesn't always protect victims.
Very true. Very, 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 very true. And America as well, okay? Man, happy she's all right.
If you're pregnant or know someone that is, protect them, or the Pangolin might snatch them up. The Pangolin looks like a normal looking woman until it gets dark outside. Its head detaches from its body along with its insides and flies off looking for its prey. Its favorite meal is the blood of women giving birth. It will wait on the rooftop till the birth is done, then it will reach out with its tongue and lick the blood. Before the sun comes up, the head will return to its body. The pangolin originated from Malaysian lore. If you like monsters, scary stories, and lore, please support this channel and my YouTube. Thank you guys.
I heard that story before, but it still makes me make that face. I can't help it. That was disgusting. Yeah, I don't receive any energy that is coming from that weird ass video game. I'm not a gamer. I don't play video games, honey. That shit was weird though. Nope. I remember like when I first started this back in June, like 6 months ago, and I would do the side by side with the Roblox. I didn't know it was Roblox. I'm like, oh, that's cool. What is that? I know y'all was probably like, because I don't play no games, okay? And I had my child very young, so my child is a grown-ass man now, okay? I'm not around no video games, and I'm damn sure ain't gonna date no nigga that big, no man that plays video games all day, okay? No, I didn't know what it was. And this is a no for me too, okay? Hell no.
Let's talk about the Naju Tudurgang case, which went unsolved for over 16 years. This case was solved because a fellow prison inmate basically snitched on the perpetrator. The victim was a young high school girl who I believed lived at Gwangju City. One night, before it was back to school, she left her house at around 1 a.m. or so. Little would her family and friends know that she would never come back. Some 14 hours later, she was discovered in the water, completely without clothes, and she was no longer amongst the living. Authorities examined her body and saw that the likely cause of losing her life was being asphyxiated or choked and probably underwater. Furthermore, male fluids were discovered. At first, her boyfriend was the immediate suspect. However, there was no connection of her boyfriend with the actual event. However, if the victim wanted to go all the way to Naju Tudurgang, she would have needed some sort of transportation like a car because public transportation was cut off at that late time. And at the time, her boyfriend didn't have such a means to drive or really go to that location. Thus, her boyfriend was not a suspect any longer, and 11 years passed by. After 11 years, a man's DNA was identified to be at the scene. It was this man, To. To was a man who was already in prison for a crime he committed in 2003 for ending the lives of other people. At the time, To stated that he did have adult intercourse with the victim, but he didn't do anything to hurt her. Initially, police could not link him to the crime. One of the biggest reasons was because there was a witness that saw the victim at 3 a.m. at night. The victim stated that he thinks he saw two men interacting with the victim, and the police didn't have a way to connect Do with one of these two men. Now, who would the perpetrator have been? Experts speculated that the perpetrator would have been a young person, not much older than Minji. They believed that he would have had a rather pleasant face. They believed this because they found evidence that Minji had been going on online internet chatting. At the time in Korea, it was somewhat popular to go on anonymous online chatting sites and meet people from there. Also, they would have had to drive a long way. So it was probably someone that the victim didn't have a problem of going all the way to Naju with. Another creepy fact is that the perpetrator stole Minji's ring. Also, one of To's fellow prison inmates snitched on him, saying To was the perpetrator. Ultimately, To was found to be the criminal in this case.
Dang. Oh, rest in peace, baby girl.
Do you guys know what a krasu is? Or a kuyang dayak? This is popular and scary folklore from Southeast Asia. So let's talk about it. The krasu is a flying head with organs still attached to it. It usually looks just like this. And it usually takes the face of a young, beautiful woman. These creatures often prey on babies and will suck their blood dry and completely out of them. I have a video of a krasu right now I'm going to show you guys. So let me roll the clip. Yeah, so that was creepy. If I saw a floating head with internal organs only floating towards me, trying to attack me, I would faint. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below, or if you've seen this before, and comment for what you want to see next.
I do not receive any of that motherfucking energy from this video, okay? Hell no, and neither do you, okay? Baby, what the hell is going on? What is going on? That was crazy. Real footage or nah? What you think? Cause looked real to me. We're gonna erase that shit from our memories, okay? And no, we do not receive any of this energy from the creepy ass videos in this video, okay? Ashe. Man. But regardless of the fact, you reached the end of another video. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate your time. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your kindness. I appreciate your comments, your likes, comments, shares, your subscribing. Please, please, please. You already know what to do with it, honey. Give it to who? Everybody. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your niece, your nephew, your nigga, his best friend, your enemies, because anybody can get it. And that's on period. All right, y'all. Be loved, be kind, be gentle, and share this video. Ashe. Open my third eyes, on my way. I'ma open my woman, I'm being dementia. You hold my body, but I'm not a Christian. I'm not a religion, but you two are true. If it's still, I know